What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now we're going to be talking about how you can get your free Campus 2, alright, Campus Heroes 2 player in Madden 23 Ultimate Team. It's going to be a very, very similar process to what we've been going over, but a lot of you guys have been having issues with the fact of selling your team. Should I get rid of them? A lot of the way the cards are playing right now, I wouldn't really urge you guys to sell them, because unless they're limited, like for instance, I'm going to show you guys real quick and then we're going to go over the way that EA is more than likely going to display the Campus Heroes 2 program, also some of the adjustments that we made here with the team a little bit earlier. So let me just give you guys some examples real quick before we jump into that, right? Limiteds like Richard Sherman, I don't know if EA is going to randomly start dropping these reduxes because they haven't done a good job of giving us advance notice, so it can easily turn out that they may actually add that as part of the promo, where it's a redux. Now, if the players were pulled, let's say for instance, some of you guys lost on the way that I showed you Training Variety, and a lot of you guys pulled extra cards. It's going to be the luck of the draw. That's why it's always a chance that you probably will get nothing. It's part of the way the game works, right? But it's about getting the cheapest cards for the training. If you were able to pull these limiteds, right, and it didn't really cost you anything, you don't really have to rush to sell it. The only issue is you're gonna lose out heavily in certain cases if the redux is just drops randomly. So you're looking at like 300, 400k because people are gonna probably pull it a little bit easier. Now look, this is something else that you guys have to understand as well. There's a lot of things that are changing because as they drop the Campus Heroes 2, there's not going to be any more Training Variety. All right, this expires the time that Campus Heroes 2 drops. So if you wanted to try to pull any of the current limiteds, now would be your chance to go ahead and do that. Based on the feedback that I got from the last video, some of you guys had a lot of success, some of you guys broke even, and some of you guys lost. The problem is, I told you guys, at most, you should be doing it at like max 3 times. If you feel like you're gonna get lucky on the second time, go for it. I myself usually do it at least 3 times. But you have to be careful that you don't exceed that, because if EA is going crazy on you, they are not going to stop. All right, so I just wanted to point that out because there's been a lot of questions about that. Should I sell my team? It only works out for you if you have certain cards that are going to keep the value. Like that Sherman, if you run a zone type of defense, you're going to be good with him. I had to convert to man coverage because zone was just getting straight dotted. So that's all pretty much over. All right. So look, before we go ahead and jump into it, I just want to give you guys some insight. Also, for the fact that a lot of you guys that are still asking about the snowball fight players and stuff like that, I don't know what EA Sports is doing as far as the upgrades. We have to wait for that, but realistically speaking, right, there are still challenges that are available for you to get other free players in the game, like what I just showed you right there. If you were interested in getting a 90 overall B&D player, which I don't think anybody is kind of excited about that, but if that's something that you guys wanted to go ahead and do, you can check it out. The reason I'm showing you these milestones is because you're going to have to be prepared for the Campus Heroes 2, because it's going to be laid out in the same similar fashion. The only difference is they may raise the overalls slightly, simply because it's a promo in the new year. So we'll figure out. I'm thinking Reggie Bush. There's a couple other dudes that you guys are bringing up that were pretty good. Todd Gurley, stuff like that. I don't know if they've run out of names because they've already started to recycle a lot of the legend players. So I'm not sure about that, but throw out your best guesses. I'm almost certain that they always drop a Reggie Bush. All right, it's pretty much always the way it is. And speaking of that, it would be smart if you have a running back that you can get rid of for a little bit more money right now before they drop it. If you believe that he's going to be dropping with that promo, which I don't see how they won't drop him as part of the promo. It's definitely something that I think that they're going to probably do. But again, there's no guarantee with it. It's just something that they may do. Reggie Bush is always pretty much a staple with it. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, some of the names that came out with the first drop, right? There's a lot that was going on. Remember when Michael Crabtree was the best wide receiver in the game? How many of you guys remember that? If you guys have been playing this game, pretty long, as most of us have throughout the entirety for when it dropped, you guys remember when Michael Crabtree with that short end was going crazy? So look how far we've come now, bro. The dude is garbage, but it doesn't matter, right? So some of you guys are like, yo, G, would they just upgrade the players that they have? That wouldn't really make much sense because they've already added a new DeMarco Murray, a new Marcus Mariota, etc., a new Chase Young. There's a lot of stuff that they've already done, so it's not a guarantee. So it could be all new players. with maybe a few upgrades, maybe an upgrade to like Tim Tebow, something like that. But you know, Alan Faneca got another card, so I wouldn't go crazy with that. Another thing that you guys were asking about is if you should start, you know, completing some of these packs. If you have the cards, you see the way I have mine set up to where I already have the cards. I've actually saved a lot of these cards because I don't know how they're going to do the set tomorrow. Now, if for whatever reason they change it up, I'm going to still be prepared because I didn't put the cards in and have the, you know, the packs already ready. Some of you guys just start doing stuff like, yo, gee, I did this. You got to be careful. One of the things that happens when the new promos drop, we don't know which way EA is going to go with the cards that are needed. So just be very, very careful with the way that you do that. Just leave it there. You know you have enough to redeem it. Leave it like that and you should be good to go. All right, so you're gonna get a free player. The overall we'll know, you know, probably tonight when they release all the information, and then I'll go over, you know, the fastest way to get it and things like that. And if we are even going to keep the player that we're gonna get, because more than likely the two champions, I don't know, dude. I have a bad feeling about what EA is doing with this, but I think they're gonna upgrade a couple players that didn't get an upgrade during Christmas early, and it's probably gonna be like out of whack. Also, remember the team of the week. They're going to be dropping consecutive team of the weeks as well, starting next week. So there's a lot of, you know, free content that's going to be getting dropped, and you guys may want to be a part of that. All right. So now that we've gone over that situation, I know a lot of you guys are trying to figure out, you know, yo, gee, you went from zone to man coverage. What's going on? All right. Pretty much what was happening with zone. Everybody runs that tight formation where the guy, you know, the tight end is always wide open on the seam. It appears to me, right, and this is just me looking at it the right way, you can defend it in zone coverage, but I think running man makes it a little bit easier because it will cheat for you with the deep route KOs versus the deep out zones. Because all of a sudden, it's not as many knockouts in zone, but man seems to be working very, very well. Now, Antonio Cromartie, right? I'm not telling you guys to spend 1 million coins, all right? What I'm saying is he and Lott are two of the only players, I think maybe one more, maybe the Denzel Ward, that gets discounted inside shade. Does this work every time? No. But when it does work, it's very, very OP. So if you wanted to test it out and try to run a little bit of, you know, man coverage and see what's going on before you actually got him and you use another player with the inside shade and software was worth it because he is going for 1 million coins. All right. Again, Reduxes may be dropping very soon, so you may not have to wait as long as you may think to actually grab an Antonio Cromartie, but because I don't know yet, we just have to hold off on it, all right? So, with that being said, everybody that you see here, you know, Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson, Deion Sanders, Antonio Cromartie is the only guy with inside shade. All of these guys get the deep route KO for 1. All right, so Charles Woodson, Calvin, and Deion, those are 3. Antonio Cromartie is the 4th, and then you got to use someone who is Julius Peppers. This is the current way that we're rocking. All right, what I'm going to need you guys to do, if you haven't done it already, I'm going to need you to go and subscribe to GmiasWorld Gaming and GmiasWorld Sports because you're going to be getting gameplay of this new defensive strategy, and you're going to be able to tell me if it actually works. All right, guys, get ready for the, you know, for content release tomorrow. You're going to be getting some more information with that. As always, if you have any other questions, comments, things like that, let me know. Talk to me, members. Drop some globes in the comment section. Hopefully, you're enjoying your new year. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.